actually recording?
What are we calling this show series? Today we are going to talk about nobody's favorite thing, and that is a budget. This is something that is absolutely necessary for most people. It's always been necessary for us. And when you're looking at a budget, what you want to do first is like and subscribe so we can continue to bring you all of these fun tips and tricks.
Let's start from the design side. You know, when you're looking at developing a budget, whether it's for yourself or for a client, what are you thinking about from the design aspect?
When I started out, I'm always thinking about how do I set a client expectation with their budget and let them know their budget's likely attainable, but it might not be attainable for the quality of things that they want. I always tell the client, let's lay out everything you want and then let's prioritize what you want.
Build that dream scenario and work by subtracting as you build out that number.
Exactly, because it's always going to be bigger than what you can afford. And so we prioritize, we think about, what are the things that are going to make the largest impact? And then also, what are the things that are going to be difficult to live through if they have to move out, they're being displaced? What are the things we want to execute first?
Think about those high impact items. What are a few key things that if someone's really trying to stretch their dollar, but they want the home to look very new and updated, that you say, let's make sure we hit A, B, and C?
It's going to be different for each space, but I think paint and wallpaper is a no-brainer. It's super, super cost effective. If somebody is really wanting to just elevate what they have, their money is it's going to seem like it goes a lot further, because if you're not taking down a wall, opening a wall, adding a wall, if you're working within what is there, then all of your money is going to things that you can touch, see, feel. It just feels like it's going a lot further. When you start to get into the construction side, you start to lose money to things that you don't see. So if function is a huge priority and the house is not functioning well for them, we start there, and that will be a big quality of life change. But if the house is functioning well, it's like, great, let's leave things as they sit. Let's focus on surface level finishes, paint, wallpaper, cabinet color. That can be something that's easily changed, or cabinet fronts, rather than tearing out and replacing everything. Another fun thing in a kitchen is going to be update your appliances, something that you can get done quickly and easily. After we have gone through and revised and talked about what we're going to do, I always recommend liking and subscribing so you never miss my brother's tips and tricks on what he does when he actually gets the budget and how he sort of handles it from his end.
Yeah, so the money side matters quite a bit. Projects, you're always gonna do more than you think, spend more than you think. As you're doing the project, things are gonna pop up, and now that this is that color, I wanna change this piece of furniture. And so things are gonna pop up. I always say add 20% to the budget. So Dan works with the client, builds out a full budget, and we go, okay, you either have to add 20% to the number that you're willing to spend, or we're going to reduce it by 20%.
Smart. Yeah.
Because there's going to be unforeseen things that pop up. So you've got to plan all that. And then I build in, we have our trades that we use. We have our general contractor. We know numbers, roughly what it is to do tile in a bathroom, for example. And so I just start filling in this budget spreadsheet so we can see by room what we're doing, how much it's going to cost us. Good trades, good general contractors aren't cheap. Dan deals with them more directly than I do.
Yeah.
But the difference a good tradesperson or general contractor can make.
Yeah, it's huge. You have your project, it's rolling, every person that comes to work on that project is also working on other projects. And so it's really key that you have a team that you can rely on, that show up when they say they're going to show up. It helps keep budgets in line and things moving forward. And when being client facing and talking to clients about their budget, they always want to know, well, how much will it be? How much will it be? And whether it's me or anybody else, they'll tell you, there's some variance to that, and it's a living, breathing thing, that budget. And A lot of it depends on what the client ends up wanting in their home. And if they want certain levels of finishes, you know, that tile guide cost, it's the same whether he's installing an affordable tile or a much less affordable tile.
The most expensive tile we can find.
So a lot of the times you as a client are more in control of your budget than you think, because it will boil down to what you are selecting.
And we've seen it a million times. The scope starts to shift. They maybe want to bring in a trade that they know that we haven't used.
Right.
That can extend the project because they might not work out, and we're kind of resetting. And I always think about, from the finance side, carry costs.
Sure.
And so if it's a flip and it delays our flip 30 days, that's another mortgage payment. That's more interest. That's more carry costs all around for us. If somebody's moving out of their home to remodel it, that's a longer rental. That's more inconvenience. These things matter.
Yeah,
and so
they're huge.
Finding those good trades makes a huge difference in making this budget process work. I think the other thing people get hung up on is, I need to have $100,000 to do my home.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you start? Because a remodel, does it need to be you're ripping walls down, you're moving things? Like, where can you start to improve somebody's design aesthetic in their home?
You know, a lot of the times I'll find people's houses are pretty good. You know, they'll have moved into a builder grade home, something that has just been done or something that's been lightly remodeled. And while it might not be perfect, or they wish they had this bit of a different kitchen, a lot of the times that's just a distraction or a place for them to lay their focus on and ignore everything that's going on in the rest of the home. Where we can come in, any design firm can come in, they have trade discounts, they have, you know, furniture discounts, that you could spend money on furniture, paint, wallpaper, handles, finishes. You could not tear into any of your home and
Really
sort of
an updated look.
Hugely updated look. And the perk of using a professional firm is they have all of their discount pricing in place. And so, yes, there's a fee for our service. It's how we make a living. But you bring in cheaper furniture costs, it helps balance out some of that fee. And for the client, they're getting a truly finished project that looks incredible now. And they haven't dug in and remodeled a bunch of stuff, and maybe down the road they still want to, but they could have taken $50,000 so much further in terms of look than if we would have started ripping open walls and redoing the kitchen.
You don't need to be an expert in all of this. You can start with a simple spreadsheet, some online research, really think about those priorities.
Yeah.
Start building that out. $500, you can get started. You can do some fourth layer work in a living room to kind of dial it in.
Yeah, I think, you know, at the end of the day, when you're looking at remodeling budgets, determining what you want to do, there's endless decisions, endless paths you can take. Really think about what you want, and then after you've done that, come back and visit us again. Drop a comment or a question below. Let us know, you know, if you've got something you're working on and you're not sure how this works or that works. We'd love to answer it, and we'll be back again with some more tips and tricks.